everyone, so today I'm going to be doing a accordion tutorial, except for it's going to be a little bit differently. It's going to be with scrapbook paper. You guys have been requesting this video for the longest time, but it will look just like this, except for it will be paper on the outside. So it will have the two expandable sections with the coin pouch and then the ID at the top. So let's get started. So these supplies you're going to need are 3 rolls of tape, clear tape, X-Acto knife, your cutting mat, scissors, Ziploc, a ruler, scrapbook paper, and I forgot to mention you will also need some sort of ID plastic. So the first thing I'm going to do is my scrapbook paper at the bottom is a little bit bigger than my ruler, so to make that get cut down, I'm going to cut that down with my ruler. You don't have to do this, it's very optional, but this is just what helps me keep it straight. And then I'm going to line everything up on an inch line and cut it to be at 4 inches. So the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to lay the bigger piece of scrapbook paper that I have left to the side. If you used one of these smaller pieces, you won't have as much left, but I'm still going to lay that to the side for a future wallet. Then I'm going to line it up on the inch line and cut it down to be 9 3/4 by 4 inches, and that is going to be my base for my accordion wallet. And then I'm going to lay all of this to the side. The next step is very optional. You can use tape, but for my stripe, I decided that I wanted to use some scrapbook paper. I haven't done this in a while, so I decided to do it. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut my scrapbook paper down to 9 3/4. You only need about an inch to do this, but you can even cut it shorter than that, but I wanted to have more leverage with mine just in case. Then I'm going to take whatever color I'm using on the inside. In that case, on that wallet, it was the white. But on this wallet, it's going to be the mint green or your sage. And I'm going to lay that tape down, moving the scrapbook paper up. Then I'm going to cut that to be 9 3/4. And then I'm going to lift up the green tape and stick it underneath. So hopefully that's easy to understand. Basically, you're just going to stick the scrapbook paper underneath and the main color on top of it. Then you're going to stack it up to be at 4 inches tall. Mine ended up being a little bit too wide, the stripe did, so I made it a little bit shorter, which you guys will see in just a second. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to take your clear tape and just clear tape the stripe and the mint green. You don't have to clear tape all of this unless you did use like chrome or gold or something like that. But I'm just going to clear tape it and run a card over it. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to cut down the end just in case I had any extra clear tape or any of my main color tape go over. And I'm just going to cut that down so that everything is even. Now I'm going to peel everything up and I'm going to get my scrapbook paper and just lay it on top. I'm going to lay it down where the pattern is facing up. If you face the pattern down, then obviously you're not going to be able to see the pattern. And then right there, as you guys can see, I had a little bit of the paper on the side where I made my stripe a little bit shorter. So I'm just going to trim that off now. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to take the trim color that you want to use on the outside and you're going to take a piece that is a few inches longer than your actual piece so you have some leverage on the sides. Then you're going to go ahead and trim the sides. I use 1/4 of an inch because that's just my preferred measurement, but you can do whatever you want, and then you're just going to do the same thing for the other sides, which would be 4 inches. Now you're just going to trim the last side and take your clear tape and just clear tape the whole thing. Normally I wouldn't clear tape all of the trim on the sides. I would just leave some of it blank since I don't really need to clear tape at all. But for this, since it is chrome, I'm going to be using more clear tape than I normally do and just clear tape every single piece. And I make sure to run the card on the inside of it first where the paper is so that no wrinkles or anything can be put on the actual paper. And if I get it on the side, it's a lot easier to get out than on the paper. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to take a piece of ID plastic that is 2 1/4 by 3 3/4 and a piece of your trim color that is going to be 4 inches, and you're going to trim that ID for 1/4 of an inch. Now you're just going to take your clear tape and clear tape the trim. I was kind of out of frame for this, but basically all I did was I just clear taped the whole trim and used my card to run out the air bubbles. I'm going to cut most of the clear tape off of the back that is left over, and then the leftover one that I'm going to cut off, I'm going to leave to the side because I will use that in just a second. Now you're going to attach your ID to your actual accordion. I like attaching mine before I cut down the sides and everything like that because I find it easier. And then you're going to take the clear tape that I just told you to put to the side and cover the sticky in the bottom of the ID with it. Now you're going to cut off the very ends of it. As you can see, some of the ends are a little bit wonky, so you're going to cut that down, and if you want to trim your sides down any bit, then you need to do that now, and you're just going to fold over your preferred measurement onto the ID, but cut upwards. I showed it kinda on the camera. It's kind of hard to explain, but if you have any further questions or anything about it, just let me know and I can answer them. I'm so bad at like voiceovers, and I'm so bad at explaining stuff, so I'm so sorry. Now you're going to make your coin pouch and expandables. I have explained this in a different tutorial, which I will link up in the eye in the corner or down below in the description. Just go check that out. So I'm not going to explain how I did this because I did it very thoroughly in my other tutorials. So if you guys want to go see that and learn how to make this, then go over to that. But basically, I'm just making a accordion wallet, and I'm going to add everything together as normal as I would a duct tape one. But of course, on the outside it's scrapbook paper, but when you're attaching everything, it doesn't really matter. It's about the same concept. Now that you have finished making your expandables and your accordion part, basically, you're going to attach it to the part like you would normally would on a regular accordion. Then you're going to take a piece of clear tape that is 3 inches, and you're going to cover the sticky in each expandable and fold that piece of tape down that is on the top right there. I ended up cutting mine down just a little bit. You will see that in just a second, and you're just going to fold that down, and then you're going to cut up at an angle at the pieces underneath the coin pouch, which again you will see in just a second. Now that you have that finished, you're going to fold everything up, and where the expandables end, I'm sorry if you can't see it, I tried to show it on here. I ended up using a Sharpie to do it, so hopefully it was on frame. But I'm going to cut upwards like a little triangle to get a pointed edge so that I can have some tape to fold in to make everything rounded and straight. And And now you are done with your accordion wallet. I hope you guys liked this video. I know that some parts were harder than others, but this is just very hard to explain. But I hope you guys got the wallets done, and if you do make a wallet with this tutorial, make sure to tag me and I will share it in a video. And yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and yeah, I will see you guys later.